Hello to everyone, and good Erev Shabbos. I wanted to share with you guys a message before Parsha Shalach that I think it's very, very important for us to focus on, to think about, to internalize, to contemplate about. We are all in exile. We are all in Galus. Even the Jews in Eretz Yisrael are considered to be in exile until Hashem doesn't come and redeem us. We are all in exile. And the reason is because the Jewish people, when they were in the desert, they cried for nothing. They cried for naught. I want to read to you some amazing Chazal over here that will teach us how to deal with our situation in exile, how to get out of this situation. It says, "Vayivku ha'am balayla ahu," and the nation has cried on that night. The Gemara says, Masechet Ta'anit und Daf Chavtet, "Vatisa kol ha'ida vayitnu et kolam vayivku ha'am balayla ahu." And the nation raised their voice, and they all cried at that night. Amar Rabba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Oto Laila Leil Tisha B'Av Haya. Rabba says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, that night was the night of Tisha B'Av. Amar Lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God said to them, Atem bechitem bechiya shel chinam. You have cried a cry of naught. You have cried a cry for nothing. V'ani ekba lachem bechiya ledorot. And I will set for you a cry for generations. For thousands of years, the Jewish people are crying over the Churban Beis HaMikdash. Why? Why did Hashem not bring the Beis HaMikdash? Why did Hashem not bring Mashiach? The Gemara is telling us over here that Hashem said, you cried for nothing, and I will give you a reason to cry for years, for generations. It seems like the sin wasn't just lack of trust in Hashem. There was a special aspect over here that they cried for nothing. There's no reason to cry. Why are you crying? And Hashem punished them because they cried for nothing. The question begs itself. What do you mean they cried for nothing? They went into the Holy Land and they saw hundreds of thousands of people gathering for funerals, and people dying on the right and people dying on the left. What do you mean they cried for nothing? There are funerals every day. How could the Gemara say that the Jewish people cried for nothing? It seems like if they were on the right level of bitachon in Hashem, if they trusted in Hashem 100% the way they should have, they would have seen a whole different picture. They wouldn't have seen a reason to cry. And Hashem is punishing the Jewish people because of lack of bitachon, distorted their sight. They got punished for crying for nothing, even though they had good reason to cry. In their world, they saw people dying, they were afraid. But Hashem says, if you would have trusted in me, that's not what you would have seen. So therefore, I am going to punish you for crying for nothing. So we learn from here a very, very important message. A person cannot say, I'm not on this level. I'm not on this level of bitachon. I'm not on this level of emunah. A person has to say, I could be on this level. I want to get to this level. A person always has to strive for higher quality of Torah and mitzvos. To live a life of bitachon and emunah. Because when you live a life of bitachon and emunah, your vision changes, your views change, you see the world completely differently. And we find that later in the parsha also. It says, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe. And God said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Ad ana ena atzuni. How long is this nation going to do this to me and go against me? This nation. And the Midrash Rabbah says that the spies angered me with what I have tried to do good to them. I tried to do good, try to keep all the people busy, so they should not keep attention and put their eyes on the spies. I created all this massive noise around them, so people should go to funerals and be busy. And they use what I try to do good for them, they use it against me. How long are they going to be able to do this? Therefore Hashem was angry with them. The question is, what do you mean? Again, the same questions. The spies did not know it was for their own good. The spies thought that this is a horrible land. People are dying. Why are people dying? The same answer. They should have known. They could have known. If they would have realized Hashem's goodness, they would have realized that it's only for their good. And since they didn't realize that, Hashem says, I will punish you. As if you understood and you still went against me. They didn't understand that it was for their own good, but Hashem says they should have. The same thing with Lashon Hara. The Rambam writes that the punishment for a person who speaks Lashon Hara is very, very bad, very horrible, because there's no pleasure in the sin. Why are you sinning against the Kadosh Baruch Hu? And the obvious questions, what are you talking about? There's so much pleasure when I speak bad about other people. To take revenge, to see them get hurt like they hurt me. But the answer is, if you didn't have bad midot, if you didn't have bad choices, you would not have gotten pleasure from this lashon hara. So Hashem says, I will punish you as if you would not have gotten pleasure from this lashon hara, and you still speak lashon hara, you will have to be dealt with. So Abutai, I want to give you a very quick message, and the message is very important. To really uplift yourself and realize the chesed and the kindness and the good and the fact that we are in the hands of Hashem. There's nothing better than that. When somebody gives you a call and says, how you doing? You're supposed to say, amazing. Hashem is running the world. And you have to live by that. Because if you live with trust in Hashem, then all your mitzvahs, all your doings, you see it differently. It becomes a different world. Shabbat shalom to everybody. May God bless everybody with health and wealth and atzlach and parnasa. Amen.